What's up, my loves? It's me, Shayla Simone, your full spectrum doula and owner of A Goddess Garden Birth LLC. And happy Black Maternal Health Week. It has been an interesting time. I haven't been that active, just dealing with everything that's going on, and it's a lot going on in the world and for the Black community. So today I wanted to just do a little compilation video to help people understand what a typical with me birth planning session looks like. A lot of people had this idea that a birth planning session is about dictating how your birth is going to go, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. It's about making sure that you have the information to make informed decisions about your birth, and in the event that things come up, you know what they are, you know how you feel about them, and you know how you want to go about handling your care for that situation. So following this, you will be watching a series of clips taken from my birth planning sessions with my amazing parents, and I hope you guys enjoy.
And I don't know everything. I'm not a medical professional.
So, a birth plan, people think it's to kind of dictate how your birth is going to go, but that's not what it is. A birth plan is to lay out and identify all the things that you're comfortable with, not comfortable with, in between about, and that are protocols or standards within the hospital birth setting, so that when you're in labor and you're at the hospital, if these things come up, if these things are mentioned, you know exactly what they are, and you know, okay, that's not something I was comfortable with, or you're okay with it, and you know which way to go, so you're not bombarded with all of these terms and things that you're not familiar with in an intense moment like giving birth, so you're already prepared and have that understanding. So the first part, is just names, information. And then the first set of questions is, please note that and this is where you would note any health conditions that you may have. So that would go there just as a note for your provider or the care team to be aware of in the event that it needs to be addressed during labor. Anything else that is like a major concern?
I just have asthma.
Just asthma, okay. And your doctor has talked about which delivery method with you?
She hasn't talked about any with me.
Oh. Okay. So what is your preference?
Water birth.
Water birth, okay. Alright. And would that be water birth in a center if we can get you in, or would that be water birth at home?
If you can get me in the center, I'll take it, but if not, then I don't mind doing it at home.
Okay.
Because if we do it at home and there are complications, the hospital that's close to our house doesn't have a NICU. That's the reason why I had to switch my OB, because they don't have a high-risk center at this hospital down the street from me. So it would take at least 45 minutes to an hour to get to a hospital that has a NICU and a high-risk doctor that could see me. That would be willing to accept me.
Got you.
So that's the issue. That's the issue I have with doing it at home, just because of that reason.
Right, I understand completely. Thank you. Okay, that's understandable. We don't want to think about anything going wrong, but we have to be realistic, especially with health conditions involved. So with that, we do have to take into account where the nearest hospital is, what they provide, all that stuff. So I'm glad that you've already, processed through that and looked at that. Okay, so when it comes to being present for the birth, now this gets a little complicated because we're in the age of COVID. So things are a little different right now, and it's no way to foresee what it's going to be like at that time.
What's going to change?
Right. So we can just go based on our, what we would like, and kind of also keep in mind what it's like right now. So let's say as it is right now, only one person present. So I'm assuming you want that to be Katie, right?
Katie.
Got you. Okay. All right. And then if you are at a center, or if things miraculously lighten up by then, what is who all would
Just
you?
you, Katie, and then whoever the nurse tech or whatever, but not the nurses with their students and doctors and the students and stuff.
So you don't want any teaching? Okay, got you.
No,
Got you.
not unless it's one of your doulas coming in with you.
Okay, that's okay with you. Okay. No teaching. I'm glad you said that because that's a thing that gets sprung on a lot of moms. And then you're in the moment, so you kind of feel like, oh, I don't want to say no, and then look like. So I'm glad you already thought about that because that's amazing.
Oh no, I don't want to be bothered because my sister-in-law, she was bothered a lot by the students, and it was ridiculous.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we don't do that. We do not do that. Like and that's one of my major issues when it comes to hospitals is we've taken the sacredness out of birth. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a very intimate thing. The energy that's flowing during a birth is something serious. And that birthing person has to feel safe and comfortable enough to allow her body to do what she needs it to do. So yeah, that definitely gets interrupted when you have people coming in and out and people trying to explain things and looking at you like you're a science experiment. It's disrespectful to me. So I'm with you. I got you. So during labor, have you looked at which things you definitely would like?
I want to do the music, the light dimming, as few interruptions as possible. The hospital staff limited. My partner to film or take pictures. My partner to be present the entire time. To stay hydrated with clear liquids and ice chips, and to eat and drink as approved by the doctor. Okay. So when it comes to eating and drinking, we've been told that you're not supposed to eat and drink, and people don't understand exactly why that is. It actually has nothing to do with your birthing body in that moment. It has to do with the possibility. Well, it has to do with in the event that I feel like you need to go into surgery, I need your bowels to be clean. Okay. So if I need to take you into surgery, I don't want nothing in you. I don't want to have to wait for you to release or whatever. So, which is, to me, that's a very interesting way to approach it, especially if there's no issues, there's no prior complications coming into birth, there shouldn't be an automatic set standard that everybody can't eat. Right. Yeah. Because that, to me, that means you're anticipating to cut me. Yeah. So that is where that comes from. Okay. So we can get you some more than just water and ice chips if you need it, because you need that energy. That nourishment, that nourishment to keep you going, especially if you're having a little bit of an extended labor. You need that energy to keep you up. That's why a lot of birth stories you'll hear, they're just completely out of it, completely just in a whole nother world, because their body is doing all of this work and it's getting nothing to keep it going and replenish it. So there's light things that we can do to keep your energy going. Do you like honey? Yeah. Okay, so honey is a thing that we use to get your energy up and keep you going and add some nourishment, antimicrobial, all that good stuff going into you. We can give you some light dates, which helps your womb and helps the laboring process as well. We can do tea, stuff like that. So it doesn't have to be strictly water and ice chips. And ice chips, okay. That's good to know. Yes. Let me see. Let me see. So during labor, have you thought about any of these? We did yesterday. I was just like anything that's comfortable at that time. We haven't tried poses or anything. When it comes to vaginal exams, unless there is like you're super, super high risk at the time of labor, and by that I mean we know she's coming in, we need to make sure everything is set up, worst case scenario, that type of high risk. Okay. Unless you are that, there is no real reason to have continuous hourly vaginal exams. That's interrupting what the body is doing. And think about it. You're getting ready to have this baby and your body's doing what it's doing. You don't want somebody... It's annoying. Right. And it's just not necessary. And then they either do it way too much or they don't do it enough. So we want to make sure that we find a balance that you're comfortable with. So it doesn't have to be every hour. It could be every 2 hours, or just when you feel like your body might be progressing a little bit more and you want to see where you're at. So that's completely up to you. Okay. I would want to do it like that. When I feel like my body is progressing instead of them doing it every hour. Okay. Some people prefer to do as few as possible,
or in the event that something doesn't seem right, then they're okay with being checked. But some just like to let their body labor, and they're not concerned about continuously checking to see, oh, I'm this far dilated, I'm this far effaced. They just want to let their body do its thing. So you have an option on that as well. Do you know what you would prefer?
I mean, I want to know. I'm not trying to expose my germs, but
Yeah. So like intermittent,
yeah,
every so often, just to check and see where you are.
yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Now, are you a person like when you're in pain? Do you just want like everybody to just shut up, just be quiet, and let me just get through this? Or are you a person that likes to? I need the energy to keep me going. Which?
I try to breathe through it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So as far as, are you sensitive to sound when you're in that state?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that one. Fine. And then, and there's a thing, because the hospital gowns, of course, we know aren't the most comfortable. But there's companies that make gowns for moms to labor in, and they have like different ones. So they'll have the one where you put it on and it can either buttons up or zips up in the back, and then it has the flap, so you can, when you're ready to breastfeed, you can just pull down the flap instead of having to take off. Yeah, instead of having to take off the whole robe to get to get access. So there's different things. So if you don't necessarily want to use the hospital robe, you don't have to, and we can get you an alternative.
Okay. I like to try to order the alternative.
Okay. Labor. There's, depending on which way you're looking at it, it's 3 to 4 stages of labor. You have really early labor, which is the first sign. It's like, oh, okay, some things are happening. I'm in labor. All right, let's chill out and just see what happens. And because of movies and media, we have this idea that when the water breaks, oh my God, I'm going into labor.
It's coming right then, but it don't come.
It does not work that way.
Okay.
So, and even if your water breaks first, which it doesn't always happen that way, you can go into labor without your water breaking. But even if your water breaks first, it's best to labor at home as long as possible.
Okay.
Because, which I'm sure you've heard of it or seen it, when somebody's water breaks and then they go to the hospital, they're not progressed at all. They're not dilated.
As fast as they think, yeah.
Exactly. And so they'll send them home to labor at home until they've progressed a little bit more, and then they'll come back to the hospital and be admitted. Or they'll admit you and just have you sitting in a bed.
Sitting and waiting.
Exactly. Staring at a clock, waiting for your body to do what it needs to. So we want to take that out. But of course, we're going to keep in mind you, your body, your health, to make sure that we're gauging it right, and we know exactly when to get you to the hospital.
Okay.
Because everybody's different. Your labor could be quick, fast, boom, bam, done, or it could be a little bit of an extended labor. So it's all about making sure that, we're in sync. You let me know exactly when you're starting to feel things so that I can get a good gauge as to when we need to start moving to the hospital or to the center.
Okay.
So in the first stage of labor, that early labor, what would you like?
Standing up or walking? Is that the one you at?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Standing up or walking, or in the shower?
Walking in the shower. Okay. And you are not interested in?
Shaving, urinary catheter, or an IV.
Okay. Cool. And you know what an enema is, right?
Because usually you have to do an enema so you don't poop on yourself, right?
That they don't. It's not like standard that they do that, but it is done. But there are things that we can do leading up to that.
So I don't have to have that?
Exactly. So you can.
Okay, so I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it if I don't have
it. All right. Labor augmentation. Do you know what that is?
Surgery? Is that what
labor augmentation. It's not necessarily surgery specifically, but it is anything like interventions, basically. So as far as intervention, there's the Foley ball, there is using forceps, and there like those type of things to either progress labor or to get baby out, those types of things. So here we have things that in the situation. So like the first one is performed only if baby is in distress. So that would be either a C-section or inducing to help progress labor faster, or the use of a Foley ball, which is a little balloon thing that they insert, and then they expand it to open up your cervix to get you going faster and to get baby out faster. That carries a risk of fever followed by infection and different things like that. So those are the type of augmentation things they're talking about. Things you would like to use for pain relief. Have you thought about those?
No, just nothing. The epidurals, Pitocin, as natural as possible unless I have a headache or anything with my blood pressure.
Okay. So there are things that I can teach you, Rod, so that you can have some holistic things to help her with pain relief. So like acupressure or counter pressure. One of my favorites is the double hip squeeze, and you literally you're behind her, you get in the pocket of those hips, that indent that's in the hips, and you squeeze. That pressure is going to give some relief off of the contractions, because she'll likely feel them in her waistline, so the stomach, maybe even on around to the back. You may even have full labor in the back. Many women just experience back pain and not much stomach pain. So whichever way, it'll help take some of that edge off of that pain, because it's countering the pressure that you're having from the contraction. That's one thing. Simple things are helpful depending on the woman. Some women don't like to be touched a whole lot. Some women do. It depends. But feet rubbing, or just massaging her shoulders, or just caressing her and letting her know that you're there, you're present, you got her. Simple things like that. There is, and even in the hospital, you can do it. Like I was talking about that grown folks time. Breast stimulation is really, really good. We love that for labor. However you would like to go about achieving that, that's up to you. But breast stimulation is very, very, very good, very effective. There's a link to the cervix. So it's going to help that cervix soften up, open up, get baby in the right position, and get him out. So, of course, if baby's in distress, we want him to be, him or her. Ooh, I said him. Ooh.
Yeah.
We want him or her.
Katie and hopes.
I'm sure. I am sure. We want him or her to be, taken care of in the event that there is a real emergency or issue. So in the midwifery community, we want to always try a natural method first. That is our first choice that we'd like to do, because there's no, if it isn't a life or death situation, something immediate that needs to happen, then we have time to try the natural way before getting to the extremes. So things like nipple stimulation, which when you're in labor, especially if we're at a center, or if in the event that you were able to do home, which we're not, but just talking about just generally, we would put you and him in a room by yourself. Y'all go have fun. Y'all go have fun, get that oxytocin flowing, and get your body moving. And because that closeness, especially with somebody that you love and that you care about, those hormones, that love energy is what's going to help baby move out. How you got baby in is how you get baby out. So we can do that. Membrane sweeping is when you're in labor and there's a thin film between your cervix and your uterus, and they take their fingers and they sweep the membrane away to help progress labor. We've already discussed that we don't want any type of vaginal interventions like that, so that's a no. Pitocin, we know that's the labor-inducing drug, Pitocin is the synthetic oxytocin. So that's why we encourage the natural way of just letting y'all be first to get that real oxytocin instead of going straight to the synthetic Pitocin. So it's something called Hypno Birthing, which we would work on well before labor. We can start working on it now even. But it's, think of it like meditative affirmations. So it puts you into this calm, relaxed state, and you have these recordings of these tapes playing about positive birth affirmations, having you envision your birth, envisioning your baby. The analogy often used is envision your baby pushing through the wall. Those type of things to get you connected with your body, your baby, so that when it comes time for labor, it doesn't feel and seem so scary and intense. You know that your body was made for this. You can do this, that type of thing. So it's putting a programming into your brain that's more positive than having that scary, negative, I don't know what to do feeling. Yeah. Yes. The hee hee ha ha. No. That is 1980s Lamaze class. No. You want to be mindful of your breathing and make sure you're keeping a regular rhythm. And you're like the video you saw, she said she breathed her baby out. essentially the same thing. Your breath, you want to make sure your breath is staying circulated in your body and you can breathe through the contractions. Holding your breath, no, because that makes your body tense up, because the pain is maybe so much that, you just feel like you got to just brace yourself, but you want to surrender to it. Let your body go fully into it. Whatever it feels like, whatever's happening, let your body fall into it. It'll be easier for you and easier on baby, because this is a team effort. You and baby are working together. So also during labor, having communication with him internally and spiritually, because y'all are working as a team to get this done. So talk to him. Say, look, it's been a couple hours. I need you to help mommy, and we need to work this out together. It works. It is a real thing. But like I said, during labor, you can get into any position you want to, and I mean that. I heard a midwife say recently, you can literally swing off the chandeliers if you want to, as long as there is a safe space for you to deliver baby into. It is what it is. Make yourself comfortable as much as possible. This is your baby, your experience, your body. You have to go through this. So you being comfortable is top priority. Push without like them telling you, okay, 10 counts, push. You have options. You can push as your body feels it, or you can have them direct you as to, okay, push for this amount of time, stop. Push for this amount of time, stop. But I will say, your body naturally has a rhythm to it. So your body knows when to push and when to stop. People are always concerned about pushing too soon and things like that. And I'm not going to say that's not an issue or it's not valid, because it is, but many don't know that your body has a natural reflex when it comes to birth. Whether you push or not, however, you reach a certain point where your body pushes for you, because your body's like, okay, it's time to go. You taking too long, so let me start. Go ahead and pushing. So even if you say, I don't want to push too early, and you kind of wait it out on pushing, eventually you will hit that reflex and your body will start pushing, and then you can say, okay, I'm ready to go. My body's ready. Let's do it. And then go from there. I think I've asked you this before. Would you like to pull your baby out by chance?
If I'm not in somewhere else, yeah.
Yeah, if you're not out of it. But they would be like, if you told them that you wanted to do that, when it's time, they would bring you back in and say, okay, grab your baby, and pull your baby out. So that is something that you can do as well. Or I'm sure they would let Rod do it. So either way, if that's something that you guys wanted to do, you could be out here delivering whole babies and stuff, So let's see, mirror, touching, no epidural. What did he say?
He holding the camera.
Right. Look, you better get you a GoPro.
Right.
Somewhere.
I was gonna get a body cam. Let's get a body cam.
Right. Exactly. You need hands-free access.
Right.
And once he's out and they take him over to the little station, Rod, you can do the suctioning if you wanted to, to get the stuff out of his nose and mouth. That's something that's an option. So you feel more involved. I know a lot of dads kind of feel like they're on the outside of things because they're not giving life, but there are a lot of things that you can do, and you are definitely like a integral part of this process, because she needs not only that connection and that energy from you, but just like she's gonna be in another realm of sorts, and so she needs you to be there to be her eyes and ears and just help her and guide her and all that stuff. So you definitely have some jobs to make sure that you stay on top of.
Sorry, that's the board. You're fine.
I want to cut one.
You want to cut one?
Yeah,
okay.
so I can know what it feels like.
Okay.
That's how midwives for centuries have used their hands to tell what position baby is in, to tell what's going on in the womb. They know and feel through their hands. Doctors have become extremely reliant on technology. So they aren't necessarily going to use their hands to see where baby is, which is why they pull out the ultrasound. But they could also use a Doppler to see where baby is. Depending on the doctor you have, whether they'll do that or not, that's up in the air. But because they already are concerned about her, I'm concerned, well, no. If she comes out first, then
This shouldn't be it's vertex.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. I had to remember that it was the other way around, not it was her that was breached, not him.
Mhm.
But yeah, being that when she comes out, there shouldn't be an issue. And let's say, but also, she could come out and then he could just like, with the void of the space, he could move around and get himself into a weird position. So that is something to think about. So in that case, it might be beneficial to just let them take a look.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like I was saying with before about the breach situation, typically it's baby B that's breached, and they prefer it that way because once baby A comes out, baby B tends to naturally flip on their own and be able to come out as normal.
Oh my. I just can't wait for everything to stop aching. So much.
I know.
You see, I keep getting up and sitting down, getting up and sitting down.
Do what you got to do. Make yourself comfortable. So then after babies are out, placenta. Do you have an idea around placentas?
I think I'm gonna do the encapsulation.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna do the cord blood. I already did sign up for all of that. And then, that's what I was gonna ask. Since I am extra special, I get to have 2 placentas. Can I encapsulate one and freeze the other one?
You can do whatever you want to do. Really not. It's actual fact.
They use it for research or something?
They use it for research, and they
Told
often
somebody that, and they believe me.
yeah, and they often use it, especially in Black women, the stem cells.
I fucking knew it. And I told someone, I said, I don't want them doing me like they did the lady with the HeLa cells. I can't think of her name right now.
Henrietta Lacks.
I was like, give me all my goodness, because y'all not gonna pay for shit. Y'all not fucking use my stuff. Nope, give me all my juices and berries right back.
Exactly.
Like,
What will happen is when placentas come out, I will have both of them put on ice. So, I need you to write that down. Get since it's 2, you can get like a small to medium size cooler that you don't mind, being disposed of. You can get like the styrofoam ones, or you can get like the plastic ones. It's up to you. But we'll have the cooler, and it will be packed with ice, and the placenta will actually, do we need 2? We'll need 2. So you could do like 2 styrofoams. That's fine. So one will be packed with the ice that was going to go to the placenta specialist. And then the other one that's going to be for you to keep, that will also be packed with ice, and that will stay with me. I will not let that out of my sight.
And shout out to all the amazing AGGB parents who allowed me to use their clips to create this video. And if you don't know, AGGB, A Goddess Garden Birth, has our community birth basket that's open for donations right now. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, donate, share the link for the donations, and please, please, please help us provide free services and free baby items for families who are really in need. It is always an honor and a pleasure to serve, and I thank you guys for watching, and I hope this has been super informational for you. I'll see you in the next video.